holidays are a joyous occasion. This season has many stressors like planning, shopping, and of course family members with different personalities, and all of that can feel rather overwhelming at times. We learned how to breathe through that stress last week. Now, Director of Impact at the Mediation Center of Coastal Empire, Vera Salzburn, is going to help us out with some solid advice that will help us emphasize self-care and our mental health for a more balanced holiday season. Good morning. How are you, Vera?
Good morning, Camille. Thank you for having me. I'm great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you because these are all tips that we all really need to hear. Where do we start when it starts feeling a little stressful, a little too overwhelming for us during the holiday season? Where do we start?
Yes, absolutely. And something that I would love to share with everyone before we have family over in our home, maybe sharing with your loved ones some expectations, maybe having a text message, a group message, kind of sharing the hopes and desires for the time that you want to spend together, and also creating environment in your home that is really soothing and relaxing for yourself, maybe some things that smell pleasant, or putting on a movie, or having any type of things that maybe sounds, holiday music, just anything that is soothing to your senses. That's one way to help yourself de-stress a little bit. And also there are some tips that I would love to share specifically for individuals to help de-escalate any potential conflict. There is this really good technique that I call, it's called Holiday HALT, HALT, and it's actually an acronym which stands for hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. So these are the 4 states that if we find ourselves in or others, it may lead to a conflict. So it's really important to check in with yourself. Am I feeling hungry right now, or we are waiting here for a family dinner? Maybe we need some snacks, or we need to drink some water or juice. If someone feels angry, maybe just having a cool down corner in your home, or just stepping outside, walking around the block, taking a break. This is a really good tip, and not feeling bad about doing that. If we feel lonely or disconnected from others, or maybe we feel like we don't belong in our own home, a good idea may be to think of some games that we can play with each other, or just some lighthearted conversations, maybe having some pictures laying around from the past. That could be a nice activity to help people feel more connected. And finally, if we feel tired, I mean, that in itself could be challenging. Again, shopping, cooking, taking care of the kids, all of these things take energy. And I always say it's not a good idea to have an emotional conversation at 1 a.m. in the morning. So sometimes peace means sleep.
Yes.
Actually, something that I do many times during family gatherings, if I feel really exhausted while the family's in the house, I would just excuse myself to the bathroom and take a few-minute power nap, and it really helps.
I can only imagine. Sometimes all you need is just a little bit of sleep. Are there any resources out there for people, you know, if they're in a crisis or in a time of need where they really need it throughout the holidays?
Yes, absolutely. So most conflicts in family settings can be managed in a conversation. Patience and compassion can really go a long way. However, if conflict starts escalating and you may find yourself in a way maybe unsafe, or somebody maybe gets harmed, it's okay to activate first responders and call law enforcement. Or if anyone who is struggling with deep emotions, hard emotions such as anxiety or grief or depression, there is a crisis line number that you can call. It's 988. It's free, confidential, 24/7. It is active and available during the holidays. Also, there's a crisis line for domestic violence. So there are definitely resources that are available for anyone. And also we at the Mediation Center throughout December offer different workshops and training to help people gain skills of communication or intervention or compassion. So if you visit our website, mediationsavannah.com, our trainings are open to the community and free, and we would love to have you.
Thank you so much, Vera, for all of these much needed tips and advice for handling conflict throughout the holidays. I'm sure it will really help us when the time comes.
Oh, thank you so much for having me again.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well.